Alright guys, video on my LabRadar. I think it's a great piece of equipment, especially if you pick up the external trigger that plugs in and allows you to freely move this away from the muzzle. You just have to keep it pointed at the target so that it can trace the projectile's path. So go over some of the mods that I did to this, and none of these I invented just from videos like this, so I figured I'd do the same thing. One is battery power. You can utilize the batteries that are in here, but I've never done it. Never even seen batteries in it. I heard they can, oh, you gotta keep your screen time down so it isn't on long. Well, I like to have this on all the time. I hate having to reach over my bench and hit the button to, take it out of sleep mode. So I just got a regular little battery pack. I forget how much this thing even is. It's probably 24,000, 20,000, something like that. It's an iSmart. It does have a flashlight on it. Not that I'm going to need it. You don't need a flashlight or any of that. Maybe if you want to inspect something, but I'm not shooting at night with this. So, but two USB ports for power going out, and then the charge port right there. And I just put Velcro on here and on the battery door. Now I ran it for about a month like that. It was just sitting on there. And what happens is it started to open the door, and the battery door started to slide off. So I actually just put a screw there and a screw there, two little black screws. It looks like they belong there. I'm not worried about it. They don't go in or interfere. There's nothing in there. I held the light to the back of this panel, and this is just open frame. So now if I do want to get the battery door off, I would have to unscrew those. No big deal, because I don't have to get the battery door off because this is the battery that I use. So this just goes on the Velcro, and I mean, it stays on there and it's never come off. I can leave this thing on for 2, 3, 4, 10 hours. This is enormous amounts of battery. One of the other things I did, I was watching F-Class John, and he mentioned, I'll show you, these little swivel. These are chargers. You're always plugging in and plugging out, and they have this swivel head. This part right here swivels. I don't know it swivels back and forth, and it's magnet, right? And so I plugged one of the ends in there, and I'll show you, and that's where you would normally put your little micro USB in. Well, now all you got to do is, boom, it just hits that, right? You see that? It just magnetizes, goes right on, and so boom, and you connect it to your USB on here, and you're on. That's what this here is. I leave it Velcroed on, it never goes anywhere, so all I got to do, hopefully I can show you. I'm sorry if my camera's bad, but that just plugs on snaps on, or magnetizes itself on, and then this goes on to the little battery pack, and I am on there and on there, and it's just that easy, and this will run it forever. Now, one of the other things I saw from watching Winning in the Wind was how to line something up here. So all I did was take that screw out, ordered the little mount for a cheap little $30 red dot light, or scope, I'm sorry. You thread this on, and now you can actually point this right at the target. That was a great addition. These are great ideas. That's why I'm sharing them, okay? The last thing, oh, and here are the little, when you buy these little magnetic chargers, here's the company, FACROO, FACROO. For crew, I don't know, but you get a bunch of cables of different lengths like this, USB, and they're all going to look just like this. All the cables are just going to be different lengths, and then you get a variety of plugs. You get micros. It looks like I've got some C plugs. Can you see that? Regular C plug. I've got some for right here. If you're running Apple products, you get the Apple plug in. I got micro USB, and they give you a bunch of those, so you have those. And the last thing that I mount this on a tripod, so I just bought the base to fit mine. You can do the same, but this I forget the model, sorry about that, the JLK or something like that. It's the external trigger. It plugs into the bottom, and you should always put this in if you want it to register. You have this off, turn your battery on, you plug that in, and then you turn your LabRadar on. And you always want this in for some reason, I guess. And then these just Velcro to the front end of your forestock, and it'll read if your sensitivity is high enough. It'll read you clicking the bolt. It'll read you moving the bolt in and out. So, but you don't get interference from other people's shots. None. So it's a great addition. I actually put the Velcro the opposite. This is the hard side, I call it. So I put the soft side of the hook and loop on my bows and started using, you go in here and you set it for rifle. You can see the rifle icon where you can go in and change it to like a pistol and bow. So I would mount this to my bow and get accurate readings. It's crazy. I can get accurate readings down 60, 70, 80 yards. So I can see now how fast my arrow is. You know, like we used to do, we would shoot over the chrono right next to the target and see how fast our arrow is coming right out of the bow, and we'd get our speeds of, you know, 300, 350, 200, whatever it might be, recurve or compound. Well, what's really critical is to know how fast that arrow going down range, and that's where I really like the LabRadar. You can go in and set parameters to measure speed at 20 yards, 40 yards, 60 yards, and 80 yards. I think it's 4 separate or 5 separate distances, I forget. But so the battery pack install, the quick magnetic USB cord, and then the red dot scope. And this, when you lock this down, this thing is tight. It doesn't move at all. So with the external trigger. Hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps. Thanks.